Good morning, Cowboy Jim, Fort McMurray. Um, Wednesday morning. Uh, Fortunately, I have a couple of weeks off, and so I thought I'd make a lot of YouTube videos. Then I did one yesterday, and it was from the heart. It's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate in that when I make a video, I watch it, I post it, and then I assess it. And yesterday it was about a young man and his lady who had purposed in their heart to steal everything that I had. That included the ranch at the time, so on. And I tried diligently to to do a video that people would not be discouraged by, but would be builded up by. And but I just blew it. Um, I I had not realized how deep the hurts were within me of the deception that was used in trying to steal everything that I had and was am. And so I thought about it for a few hours, and yeah, I still felt unsettled. Like uh, I it it wasn't right, shall we say? Oh, factually, it was so correct. The abuse was so evident, so evil. I don't know how else you could put it. And I had considered those people and those people who were close to that. And I thought, I don't need to talk about this. I, I don't need to promote hatred, hurts, self pity, all those things. And so I deleted it. But then after I deleted it, I was in just as much of a quandary as before. Should I have? But I did. And I thought, how can I ever sit in front of this YouTube platform when I do such things as I do in terms of making videos, remembering the terrors of the past. I was going to do a series of YouTube videos and on abuse, and I just choose not to at this point in time. I don't know. Perhaps that will change one day. Perhaps it won't. And if it doesn't, then I rely on this statement that the Creator made. He said, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." I hear people when accosted with the truth or the perception of truth, when people say, you do thus and so, um, don't you feel guilty or you're wrong? Have you considered, are you right or are you wrong? Is it that important? Answer is yes, it is. It's very important to adhere to the truth, to reflect the truth, to fulfill what Jesus said. I am the way, the truth, and the light or life. That's what we shoot for. We shoot for what is the truth. And I suppose many people would say, well, is it wrong to face the truth, to recognize truth, and to be offended at the evil that people purport um, is their right to walk in? There's a scripture, it says, I hate with a perfect hatred those who are anti God. Let's paraphrase because I can't remember it totally. And I choose not to hate. It it is all consuming. I I remember watching a friend of mine for about 10 years. He was consumed with, it was not love, it was hate, hatred. He had been transgressed, he had been demeaned, he had been cheated, actually. And it consumed him for 10 blessed years at least. And I thought, I don't want to walk in that. I don't want to reflect my own self as one being a victim. That's not cool. And I don't want to victimize anyone else either. So I deleted the stupid video. I don't even, I may not even know what to call this one. Oh, I might just call it I deleted the stupid video. Yeah, probably. But I did. And I move on. I I choose to move on. I choose to take those hurts. Oh, dear Lord. Those hurts that would otherwise consume me. Consume who and what I am. When, of a truth, I've had such a good life. It is rather unsettling for me. I remember a couple of years ago, a young lady said, "Whoa, you're not young." And I thought, you got to be kidding. What do you mean? And then I thought, oh, gee, I'm pretty good at mathematics. And she was right. And, well, face up to the truth. I suppose that's what you do. That's what you should do. Anyways, so I deleted the stupid video. Oh, that does not mean I won't make it again. Oh, it also does not mean that the time may well come when I can uh, dissect. I think the word is disseminate. I hope uh, study all that abuse that I went through at the hands of an abuser. If you have been abused, hey, my condolences. Don't allow yourself to walk in it. Don't allow yourself to be controlled by that abuse. I I have done a 3-part series on abuse. I think the titles were "This is Child Abuse," something like that. And then the next video done right after it, it's probably only 50 or 100 videos ago, but the next one was a release from having been abused, and I told about 6 different stories that people had told me about what they went through and what that abuse looked like and what the symptoms can be, don't have to be, can be. I truly believe that that people can have experienced abuse and yet do not show a single sign of that abuse because they've been able to assimilate, understand, comprehend, grasp, hold on to what that abuse meant to them, how they survived through it, how they looked for a brighter light at the end of a tunnel that wasn't a train coming towards them, but rather what forgiveness is all about. And I have posed the question for myself: is there life after having been abused, after having been denigrated, after having our peers, about half of the people that I held in such respect, they actually believed the abuser. And yes, he went to court and and he was charged, not with abuse, but he was charged with assaulting me. Can you imagine? I let him beat me in the very foyer of the company that we both worked for. And he did a good job. But I have found within the legal system that the victim is guilty until the victim can prove, verify their innocence. The the perpetrator, is innocent until they are proven guilty. And I think our legal system is all backwards. It has gone from true justice to a reflection of justice. True justice, or a semblance of it. That semblance is not as good today as it was 50 years ago, 60 years ago, when I was 11 years old. And the lady whose name was Helen, I did a video about this. And Helen had come home to find her husband had allowed a delivery person to use and abuse her 11-year-old deaf and dumb baby girl for the cost of a couple of loaves of bread. And her husband had not needed the money. He had money, he worked. But in some sick way, he allowed his daughter to be sexually used while he watched for the cost of bread. Helen had a speech impediment because she could not hear, and so she read lips. And she posed the question for her husband: what have you done with our baby girl? And the husband said nothing. He was an abuser. Helen walked over and took a butcher knife off the counter and headed back to her little girl to give solace to the little girl who was still straightening her dress out. Helen did not make it to the little girl because that butcher knife that she had held as she walked past her husband to her daughter, Helen put that knife in that man's chest. Then she phoned the police and told them in her broken ability to speak what she had done. And a court case arose. Back then, if you were charged with a crime, you were tried the next day, the day after, real soon. And Helen was looking at hanging by the neck for what she had done. But justice prevailed, as justice should prevail. With my abusers, they were more than just a husband and wife, I believe. I am trusting God to fulfill what he said. That is, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. That video is called Justice. You should watch it. You should. Because life is critical for those who are living it. And I have oft times wondered what happened to Helen and her little girl. But the court sent her home and said, "You're guilty. Your sentence is time served." Then the judge said, "You, Helen, you go get your two children, little boy and the little girl." And he said, "You take care of them." That was called justice. So God bless you. So this video, well, let's just see what the title looks like. God bless you. My prayer is that my heart won't screw up God's intent for our videos. Yours, his, mine. That our input will honor each other and will, of a truth, honor God. Look up justice. Watch how I portrayed my 42-year-old friend when I was 11. God bless you and God keep you. May your heart always be tender enough that God can use it to touch another's heart, because that's what we're here for. That's what we do. Prayerfully, that's what we do. God bless you. God bless you.